Good evening. The novel I have chosen to read is The Dream House by Craig Higginson, a South African author known for writing stories rooted in deeply personal human experiences. The novel is set on a farm in the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands and follows Patricia, an elderly woman facing the end of her life while dealing with family tension and a past she cannot let go of. At its heart, it is a novel about what we leave behind and what refuses to leave us. The passage I have selected comes from early in the novel, where Patricia is haunted by recurring dreams of her childhood home in Durban. We see a woman reaching back toward the place where she first felt safe. This passage is important because it sets up one of the novel's most powerful themes, that the homes we grow up in don't just become memories, they become part of who we are. Patricia doesn't simply remember the Durban house, she dreams about it. She is pulled back to it without choosing to be, which tells us that our childhood homes hold a kind of power over us that never fully disappears. It also shows us Patricia in a very vulnerable private moment. We don't see her as a mother or a landowner. We see her as a child. And that is what makes her so easy to connect with. I chose this passage because it connected with me in a way I didn't expect. I moved away from my childhood home a few years ago. It wasn't a big or fancy house, but it was mine. And everything I knew about feeling safe and happy existed within those walls. What stays with me is knowing that strangers now live there, completely unaware of what that house meant to someone else, what it meant to me. There's a strange sadness in that thought that I could never quite put into words until I read this passage. Patricia dreams of the Durban house gave words to something I had only ever felt. And I think that is one of the most valuable things a book can do. Not tell us something new, but help us understand something we already carry inside us. I hope that as I read something in this passage, speaks to you too, the way that it has spoken to me. The Durban house was 150 years old, and whenever anyone walked inside it, it creaked like an ancient ship. It stood on top of the hill in Glenwood and overlooked the harbor and the bluff. It was the house she had grown up in, and she has had dreams about it her whole adult life. She wanted to spend her last days doing little more than starting at the sea. She pours a glass of orange juice from the Toby jug and grunting with the pain of its stir it sits. There are still weaver birds nesting in the fir tree. They sway and twitter and clack. The room smells of Alsatian and oats and leaking gas. She has decided not to get the cooker fixed. She has been rather hoping the whole house would go up in smoke, with all of them inside it. Even now, Richard has the ability to appear by magic. He must have evaded beauty as he's still wearing his pajamas. Pale blue cotton, stained with tea and smears of Brand's rusk. The pajamas are the same steady tone as his gaze, which is fixed on Patricia as if she's an oncoming storm. Morning, Richard. Are you going to sit? Would you like a cup of tea, beauty? I want to take the dogs. What? To my father's place. I want to take them there tonight. Right. It is not the fact of the dogs being shot that amuses her. It is that his father died 20 years ago. What's there to laugh about? He wants to know. Your father is no longer with us. What are you talking about? Too many pies. Richard turns away from this and sits. He stares at his hands. But I saw him only yesterday. We shared a cigarette. Beauty appears and goes over to the stove to revive the oats. Richard doesn't seem to notice her. Although he was never much of a farmer, he has the hands of one. How long has it been since Patricia has last touched them? Or been touched by them? She probably comes into contact with them every day, but contact is very far from touch. Where's the television gone? Packed. Someone must have taken it. We're leaving. Tomorrow. Everything has to be packed. Richard turns towards her, perhaps about to scream at her or throw his mug against the wall, but still he seems unable to meet her gaze. Are we dead yet? No. You will tell me when we're dead. If I can, Rue, I will. She can feel Beauty's bemusement as she approaches and scoops some oats into each of their bowls. Patricia takes a bowl and adds brown sugar from a fluted sugar bowl that once belonged to her grandmother, and cream, leaving Richard to fend for himself. Sugar will be the death of her, but you have to die of something, and it's better to die of something you like pies. I was dreaming, yes, that we were dead. Thank you. My name is Ndeti Makwa, and I read page 6 and 7 of the novel The Dream House by Craig Higginson.